My name is Snyp Life. I got a 7-year-old, he's autistic. I love every kid. I don't care what you have, if you a regular kid or if you a special needs kid. This is what we need to do to change the ways of this world. We need people like this, the government, that change things, that put flaws in front of us. When we got stuff like this, they can't stop power. Power is in numbers. Hey, thank you personally to Adidas. I got a 7-year-old son, he's autistic, he's nonverbal. Everything here is touching. I appreciate everybody that came out, all the parents. I've been there too. I'm able to touch the youth. I go out and I do fundraisers and I do things for no money because it's about what you do for our kids. Real talk. Check out me and my 7-year-old in his first video, and I actually got him to say a few words, so I'm blessed.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
My man. Yeah, say Poobs, what up?
Pull it up.
And this is for my son that's autistic. I spit this, yeah. If your kid is autistic, they gifted. We not overlooking other disorders, but learning about autism is important. For my son that's autistic, I spit this, yeah. If your kid is autistic, they gifted. We not overlooking other disorders, but learning about autism is important. As I open my eyes and visualize to this Nas beat, spread my wings, doing my thing from the concrete. And every heartbeat is for the breath of my sons. I love them both, treat my life for theirs. Yeah, I be ghosts, I do it big, lose a rib just for both of them to live. I'm an advocate, awareness is what I'm trying to give. I speak for the families of those that affect them. My youngest nonverbal, he's severe on the spectrum. He was healthy 18 months, then got a shot. And then mentally, it's like all the growing stop. Now what could it be? Something to do with the mercury. The government don't want to admit it. They feel the urgency. They making laws just to cover up flaws. But that's another record, like how I was moving the raw. They say the rap game is just like the trap game. But what about the parents with their kids still stuck in this fast lane? For my son that's autistic, I spit this, yeah. If your kid is autistic, they gifted. We not overlooking other disorders, but learning about autism is important. For my son that's autistic, I spit this, yeah. If your kid is autistic, they gifted. We not overlooking other disorders, but learning about autism is important, is important.
And y'all know?
Say D-Block. Say yeah.
Yo!
It's good? You had enough? You finished? Or you want some,
Yeah.
you want some more? You finished?
Yeah.
Okay, you finished. Say peace.
Peace.
Say peace.
Peace.
Say bye.
Bye.
My man. My man.
Show me your hands. Shot fire. Shot fire.
6 feet for my niggas with the big heat. But I'm up close to the cheek, let the hawk speak. Coming straight from the streets, fuck the police. Shots flying every direction from where my arms reach. Calmly, the smooth criminal style of Dom. Put money on your head that we wash with the laundry. Coke sales, dope sales, even had them wholesale. Knocks on my coattails, switching different hotels. Niggas start telling they ain't even got a post bail. Now you back live but can't hide from the smoke trail. This for the old jail, niggas in the new big Fed block, picking the yard on the loose string. 9 with the red laser, 40 with the blue game. Catch a different crime caper every time I mood swing. Spin a block and kill a op, yeah we shoot things. D-Block's the beehive and my whole crew sting. Nigga.
Put the knife down! Put it down, man, please!
I ain't gonna take much time, let me talk to y'all. YO is like Brownsville, mixed with Baltimore. Felt they ain't hit him enough, knocked his coffin off. Usually the one they called to get him off of y'all. Lollygagging at your weed sesh. I seen a back block turn into a bleed fest. They only aiming for the head, so they don't need vests. Less is more, far as money, I don't need less. If you keep the body still, say it bleed less. And I can hear it in your raps that you read less. Blow blunt with my lawyer doing recess. On a murder rap, get the charge drop, get my burner back. If it ain't money, then it's fuck shit. Loved ones kidnapped and abducted. Surgery on your face to reconstruct it. niggas better learn who to fuck with. What?
In 2021, the return to Cyrus draw the gorillas to the curve, mixing with the convicts. When a nigga put in work, he can ride with no tents, with diamonds on his wrist that make no sense. Grill on the whip symbolize I perfected the grind. When niggas ain't selected to shine, so I'm parallel parking any hood 'cause I could, and I'm feeling like Mufasa, nigga. I wish you would. I'm good and my little homie, you slump you. Full coverage, bumper to bumper. Get it right, I don't accept respect. I could rest a 6 hour like Lena Mitchell-Leck. Brownsville forever. Where, how could I not be down? Headshots from awkward positions like I'm Pacquiao. I'll make confetti out of your crown. Get all your little homies together, I'll knock them down.
Yeah, nigga, OG knuckles. Light this shit up like Times Square, nigga. Yeah. I'm in album mode, nigga. Any motherfucking time we feel like it. D-Block, nigga. 2 guns up. You know the slogan, stay low and keep firing, nigga. 354 the boss hog, nigga. What? Yeah, we see y'all niggas out there, man. Your little numbers is looking alright out there. Well, let me tell y'all niggas something, man. We don't give a fuck about none of that shit. This shit start from the back staircase to the basement, nigga. Inspiration is the pavement, nigga. Y'all niggas know our style, nigga. Talk your shit, nigga. Hey yo, this ain't nothing new to me. I grew up off my old shit. Work in the building, moving bundles off of dope flips. 36 zips in the spiz with the stove lit. In a small town with a pound when the coke hit. Lighting up with P, the only time I'm on my ghost shit is D-Block. You know we keep it ghetto like the roach clips. Eastbound and down, fuck around and get your dough slipped. The beast of the town, every round you getting both clips. I don't care who y'all thought was harder, y'all be capping. We started this, 2 starter kits before the rapping. Baby 9 featherweight, all black 38. Swing the blue steel hawk, turn you into leather face. Nigga, this is heavyweight, bars on the Richter scale. First thing I did was play the yard when I went to jail. Nah, I ain't rap first, nigga, I just act worse. Stack when I clap first to show them that my gap work. Nigga, this is that work, flood the whole city with it. Ain't nobody else ever run it since Biggie did it. Grand Theft Auto with the semi in it. Drum so it's plenty in it. Shots from the bottle if it's Remy in it. Give me a minute with no ticking like the Prezi. No heady, then she deady. Let these bitches know I'm petty. I'm steady on the aim like the cam with the zoom lens. The faux fizzy, leave your crew dizzy like the room spin. Still bumping no security like where your crew went. We ate the weight straight off the plate when they flew in. Pistol with the new M, shells for the loose ends. It's ill, took the red pill but floated in the blue bins. How the fuck did you win? Your whole style made up. Corny like Kanye right after the breakup. Wake up to a shape up from the blade with a taper. Blow purple feeling like I'm courtside with the Lakers. Bitch ass niggas, y'all belong with debaters. These rappers ain't tough, they just humble round sprayers. And just for the record, all these bullshit comparisons, check my catalog. My style been arrogant. Ingenuity and what it mean, nigga, look it up. Before the world ever heard of me, I was cooking up. Nigga moving hard work, all it took was hard work to tear these rappers fucking heads off with this bar work. That's work, nigga. Work, nigga. Stretch this shit out, nigga. 354 style, nigga. Service with a smile, nigga. You already know what it is, nigga. Ingenuity, man, on the way, man. I ain't playing around with y'all, nigga. I mean, third lane shit, bookie balls, nigga. Watch out, get out the way, nigga. I'm gone. Fuck that shit, fuck that. We out. We out.
You already know what it is, man. This is the Indie Circuit on Yale Radiocast. This your boy, Dylan Yale. You already know what it is. We got D Block in the building. Snyp Life. I wish he was really in the building, but he's in the building ish.
Oh, I'm gonna
Let's
pull
go,
up
man.
next
What's
time.
happening, Snyp Life, brother?
Peace, Lord. What's up, my brother? I'm
Man,
definitely gonna pull up on you on the next one, though. On the next run, I'm gonna
okay.
come hang out with you. You heard?
I hear you, man. Well, once again, I want to say I appreciate this interview, man. I want to talk to
Yeah.
you about the music, about what you're going on outside of music. The indie circuit is about music, but it's about exclusively about the artist. And this is deeper than rap conversation. I want to
No doubt.
congratulate you of the plaque that you received for the over 1 million streams
Yes.
of the
Thank you.
in of the project that you just dropped, man. The Ingenuity.
Yes, sir.
Talk to the people about the project and how you feel about it, man.
Ah, man, Ingenuity. That's my baby. A project that I was excited to share with the world. I always felt like when I was creating Ingenuity,
Yeah.
I always like said this was like a time capsule for hip hop, for the culture. Like this was a project that I would create and drop, but we can come back to it 20 years later and
Right.
appreciate it more. And so far so good. We off to a great step, because I just dropped it last summer. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm gearing up for part two, which we could get into. But the significant part that I want people to know about Ingenuity, is that the first off the artwork tells its own story. So anybody that
Okay.
was a D Block fan, is a Locks fan, um they know that we dropped an album called No Security,
No
a,
security.
a D
Yes.
Block album called No Security, and for me, that was my debut actually to the world as a D Block MC. Because mind
Yes.
you, as the story goes, these are my neighborhood friends or
Mm-hmm.
or big brothers because they older than me. But I was a shorty from the neighborhood. So before the D Block thing, before the world knew who the Locks was, I always had a relationship with these guys.
Mm-hmm.
So fast forward, the No Security album was just, the political way of saying, this is our D Block roster. And I made
Yeah.
my introduction. So from the No Security album to the Ingenuity album, I'm literally the last D Block MC that was from that album.
Right.
That album consisted of 7 of us on the cover. And I
Mm-hmm.
literally was the last one, which reflects back to the Ingenuity artwork. The D Block fans or the people that knew about the situation, they seen they seen the story. I'm literally the
Yeah.
last one, which is why the artwork was the way it was. So it was just me just basically getting my flowers for the longevity and the
Mm-hmm.
loyalty that I showed to the
Right.
Locks. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. I'm assuming around 20 years into your career. Um, what would you say is makes this project different than everything else that you've done with your individually and with the group of the Locks or D Block or what you call yourself as a collective? I'm saying this because
Mhm.
when D Block dropped, I
Mhm.
looked at it like y'all was going to be the next Wu Tang or sort of because I saw just like you said the collective of members. I like, oh, this is a real movement here
Mhm.
in
Mhm.
the middle of the change of the industry at that time. So
Right. Right.
you know,
Mhm. Absolutely. It's a dope question, brother. Again, I just feel like because of the storyline and because I was able to have the full creative control over how I wanted the direction of it to go in.
yeah,
I mean, I've always had creative control over all my projects. But this was like my first real album. I feel like I
yeah,
I have if you follow any part of my journey, I'm really from the mixtape and the DVD era, which is the early 2000s.
definitely.
So I've done hundreds and hundreds of mixtapes and on this album and compilations and things of that, but I felt like Ingenuity was like my first real album. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is my album, not my
Right.
mixtape, not my EP, not my compilation, but this is my album. And
That's
that's
your
how I
baby.
felt creating it. So that's what I feel like was significant. And then if you look at the records that are on Ingenuity, these records for me is a 360 moment, being a fan of hip hop, to being a contributor to hip hop, to the culture, because
Mm,
these guys were the guys that I listened to when I was a kid. The
right.
MOPs, the Smith and Wessons, you know, Smooth the Hustlers, Trigger the Gamblers, the Helter the Skelters, rest in peace, Sean Price. These are the guys that I listened to. So
Mm-hmm.
to be able to have a 360 moment, to be in the studio with these guys, Royal Flush and Rusty Jukes, the whole boot camp clique, and it was just a surreal moment for me. You know what I mean? And to have these guys cheering me on, appreciating my lyricism, basically seeing that I get super busy and wanting to be
Yeah.
a part of it. So that was just like all special moment for me in creating Ingenuity. So I think that's why it stands on its own when you ask like that question from that perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You talk about being in the studio with all these legendary artists, right?
Right.
And I know how it gets in the studio because it's always competition. You know,
Right.
uh, what was the moment, and who was it that somebody dropped their verse? They don't went in the booth, dropped their verse, and made everybody go back to their pen and pad and change their verse. You
Uh,
know what I'm talking about,
I mean, like in general, not even just circling the Ingenuity sessions. I've obviously I have so many sessions with the locks,
yeah.
individually and as a group. You understand what I'm saying? And
Right. Go
I
ahead.
never really like. It was always Still Sharp and Still. I swore. I was always inspired just to see ill shit like being created from them. You know what I mean? But
Right.
and then I was always humbled by the fact that they appreciated that I would be right there. Like I come right with my shit. Like I never was told to rewrite a rhyme. I never was told to change nothing. Know what I'm saying? So, and I never wrote down any rhymes, which is a whole nother conversation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But nah, man. Not too many of those moments where we actually like niggas just going home. Like not with that caliber of MCs. But I do recall laying the verse to a particular song and Lil Fame saying, "Damn, I feel sorry for whoever go after Snipe." I remember that. I remember that. And for me, that was a proud moment because again, these guys are legends.
Yeah.
He wasn't on the song. He was sitting in. Again, the love was so ill because whether they were actually recording the actual songs that they're on for the album, or they
Right.
were just in the studio hanging out with me. Like it
Right.
was a creative process. It was a creative vibe. So,
Right.
but I remember that moment for a record that I was doing with somebody I ain't gonna name, but Fame definitely said I feel sorry for him. You know what I'm saying? So it's all motivational and
Right.
inspirational though when you hear legends and people you looked up to commend you on your shit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. And I asked that because everybody knows the Locks as this legendary group,
Right.
and you come in right behind them,
It's a fact.
and how the click vibe is. You always
Yeah.
have your favorites, and I'm listening, and I'm like, you won't go with these guys, you
It's a
know.
fact.
So it's
Fact.
like, okay, so why? I feel like you're the fourth member because
Oh yeah, no, I get that.
you
I've
were
always
speaking
gotten
on
that
your
a lot.
time frame, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
why what is it label stuff? Why are we not actually considered the fourth member?
Well, for me, that's sacred. It's always like a street thing.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to industry, it's politics involved with the industry. We don't come from the industry. We come from the curb and just try to find our way through the industry. So I
Right.
feel like in a political sense, that's sacred. That's it's only gonna always be three. It's never gonna be four. Know what I'm saying?
Right.
The best you're gonna get is, the understudies, the young homies that grew up underneath them in a sense. But the ironic thing about me was that I always had my own crew. Like we always had our own crew in the streets,
Right.
and I just lived in the same neighborhood, so I was able to spar daily with the locks. But I didn't do music with the locks. I was
Okay.
still just a little shorty, but I was the spitter. So I was always the nicest guy in my hood. So when the
Okay.
OGs, the drug dealers, that they would try to impress, when they would rap for them, they would always call for me. They would send for me to come rap with them because this kid is ill and he needs to be with y'all. That was probably like an untold thing from back then. But we always did our own thing and just respected each other. I respected they was the big bros. They were more seasoned. They were already in it. And I was influenced from the shit that they was influenced from. It wasn't me being directly influenced from them. We
Right.
literally stood around the same OGs that was they OGs was OGs that took me under the wing.
Right.
So,
Right.
you know, mind the age gap, I was still outside. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and I was able to run around the city, run around my city of Yonkers or whatever dwellings where we would do the battles and shit like that. So
Okay.
years later, this is just a 360 moment of us coming and really connecting and doing music because I was running wild in the streets during the time that they actually made their debut to the world.
Mm-hmm.
I was away. You know what I'm saying? I went
Yeah.
away
Okay.
and I missed that whole wave. So that's where, you know, when you wonder,
There
when you
you go.
say like that, yeah, it was a matter of me coming back home, getting reenacted into it and catching back up. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Um, Shout out to my boy Copyright Cam,
Oh, that's
man.
my guy.
Yeah,
Shout out to
that's my guy,
Copyright.
man. You know, he is the reason. I got to give a shout out to my brother being the reason that this interview has made
For sure.
taken place.
For sure.
Let me ask you about, man, working with artists, and it's a little bit of the change of the industry as far as the quality of music,
Right.
the type of music, and
Right.
it's especially up north, man. I mean, I'm from Florida, man, so
Okay.
I kind of like from the military. I spent some time in New York. I've jumped around a little bit, so I got a little bit of everything, right? But it seemed like a lot of the shit, and maybe that's why I appreciate what you do so much because you're still within the realm of that New York sound and that New York quality. What
Hmm.
do you think about the current atmosphere of hip hop, especially the New York sound of music?
I mean, you know, New York is always, you know, considered, you know, we like the forefathers because, you know, this is where it
Yeah,
started, you know,
yeah,
1520 Sedgwick Avenue. You know what I'm saying? Bronx, New York. So,
right.
you know, but I just feel like because I came up in a different era than what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Um, what I could see obviously for me is that the game, which is it's it has its pros and it has its cons. So it's a gift and a curse. The gift is that we were able to elevate the culture industrially, where we could actually take care of our families at a
Hmm.
way bigger level than what we, you know, were introduced to. So
Yeah.
that's a positive. But I feel like the spinoff on that is that it's not about the art anymore. It's just about making the money. I
I
come
heard
from an
that.
era of creativity, which again, as a quick plug, ingenuity for anyone that didn't know what the word means, it's the art of being clever, creative. So
Definitely.
that's what the name of my album is. So
Hmm.
I come from that era. So this era is just more about just making the fast buck and forget the creative concepts, forget the themes, you know, the records and the choruses and the music. Like the raps don't even match the choruses. I
How
be like,
how
yo,
you
what
how you feel about it though? Like, is it fuck it, or
Yeah,
like
no, I mean that's the part. That's what I mean. Like it sucks. It's hard.
yeah.
Like I don't listen to a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to be like, oh, this, you know, the old heads that
You're
been in
not
the
gonna
game for a
hate,
while.
but
They
it is what it
haters and shit.
is.
I let them rock. It's certain shit that I do like, and I like melodies and themes and shit. But when we talking from a lyricist standpoint, like I came up with your bars is what mattered. Like now
Yeah,
the shit is watered down. This shit sucks the way they took away the level. The bar that we set is like they lowered the bar and
they
replaced
lowered
it
the
with money.
bar.
So now it's
Man,
like the money is overruling it. But
yes.
shout out to the ones that still stay grounded to the culture and
Mm-hmm.
that's still about that, you know, that golden era could never be replaced. That's why they still jacking all of the shit from the golden era. And they
Yeah.
just putting the spin on it now. But that's all the shit from what we came up on. You
Right,
know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
And the drill music is hitting, but it's dangerous. Like
It's
it's different like now than the way, you know, because social media is involved now. So social
right,
media is
right.
playing the devil's advocate
Mm,
and a lot of the young dudes is getting jammed up behind this shit, man. So
right, Right.
It sucks, man. You know what
So,
I'm saying?
so the up north vibe, as
Yeah.
far as drill, because at this point you're an OG. How do you connect with
Facts.
the younger, bro? How do you connect? How do you connect? Because I still hear the music, you know,
Yeah.
and we talk about the music business or what you do, and we're going to circle back to what you do as a father. So how do you connect with the youth and say, hey man, what you're doing is kind of when I hear what Snyp's still putting out from the streets, bro. I think we lost you real quick on the audio. Hold on one second. Add to the stream. I tell you what we gonna do though, because I'm not gonna have this happen. We gonna play one of your joints, man. I want to go ahead and go into what we got popping right now. Uh it's some new music from my guy Snipe Life, man. And we dropping hits, we breaking hits right now, man. I want to go into this Boss Hog too. Thank you for this drop. This shit just hit. Man, check out your boy Snipe Life. We're gonna try to get this audio straight on his side. Man, this is Yale Radio Cast. This is the Indie Circuit, man. You already know this is Deeper Than Rap Conversation.
Yeah, somebody light up, man. Shit just hit different, my nigga. These niggas cannot stop. Right. Yo. And matey, what up? Shit knock. Fire, nigga. D-Block. You know. Motherfucking Top Gunner, what up? Two guns up. Y'all know what it is, nigga. Anywhere in the world, I'ma get this work to you, nigga. I'm on vacation, nigga. Yeah. What's up? Let's go, nigga. Yo. Yeah. 354, homie, you know the boss hole. Yeah. Baptize niggas in blood before I cross y'all. Third lane, rear view mirror, swear I lost y'all. Dipping in and out of the traffic with the exhaust hard. These bars ain't just something that you can write up. The flow like the string gang niggas before I light up. Take the early shift and switch it and fuck the night up. You in the lower part of the jail and send a kite up. This is for my niggas with numbers doing the stretch. On the dance floor fresh, respects yellow baguettes. Booking bars just as long as the spread cover the bet. We could double down the bread and then double the threat. Niggas think getting money's automatic respect. You can't unlame a nigga when you give him a check. These niggas out of here, been selling dreams for years. So fuck your ideas if you don't put them in gear. And I don't care if you work out your chest and your back. Catch your niggas while you frontin', put your chest in your lap. Yeah, all that, Snipe be spittin', so fuck the chit chat. We don't wanna hear that bullshit you tryna kick back. Hit that fire, nigga, all of it chrome. You on the stage, on the sideline, all in your phone. Looking wing, corny niggas think you doing your thing. Put your head on the plate like they doing the bang. And tell my niggas eat streets, they be doing the same. Anybody get it, even if it's no one to blame. These selfish ass niggas still tryna suck up the game. But these barbarian bars will fuck up your frames. Yeah, everybody talk the talk just like they bang. You don't recognize the wolf before you see the fangs. Can't analyze a boss before you meet the team. You need loyalty before you get the cream. Yeah, niggas thought it was over, I'm still loading up. Headshots, whoever headline when I open up. I'm old school, roll me a Dutch. Keep the stash box in the trunk so you know the blow in the cut. And all my out of town niggas, they be knowing what's up. I was a young nigga coming through, holding it up. Moving so much work, older niggas had to see us. A new plug, cause the older one couldn't keep up. Supply and demand, cook it, let it fry up in the pan. And if you not, better lie up on the stand, nigga. Lie, nigga. Yo. I like to welcome y'all niggas to IG too. Ingenuity, nigga. I told y'all niggas I'm fully loaded up, man. 354, you know. D-Block, you know the rest, nigga.
Man, once again, bars, man. Once again, man. Punchline Academy, man. Bars, bar heavy, man. I appreciate lyrics, man, because as we spoke on, it's become, I wouldn't say it's becoming a dying art. I would say that the way that the industry is going, you have to find the music. So
Yeah, it's a fact.
the lyrics ain't really went nowhere, bro. The industry just took a shift. And you got to
Yeah, it's
go
a
to
fact.
Spotify and you got to find these people, like Snipe Life, like John Connor, like
It's a fact.
Copyright, like all of these artists that I vibe with, man. So and apparently you've maneuvered through the matrix to get over 1 million streams, man. How, so what did you do differently with this project that you got to where you're at, and what's your plans for Ingenuity Part Two to kind of like push yourself up to the forefront? Like we need to see this type of music, bro.
Yeah, no, I mean just having a good solid team.
Okay.
Shout out my brother Inf. I get at him
Yes,
records,
yes.
distribution, created a platform, um, for artists like myself and up and coming artists. But
Yeah.
for me as a seasoned artist, it was just a matter of just finding the right platform, you know what I mean, to actually put the music into. And, I have my own, cult following, from my early journey. So just being able to put them, in people's playlists and putting the right people around me, I was able to attract different audiences, you
Yeah.
know what I mean, than what I probably usually would have settled for.
Hmm.
So, I give that, again to my brother Inf and I get at him Records family for
Yes.
getting my joints out there the right way. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
All right. So where we were at, we was talking about just the
Oh,
uh
and
go
yeah,
ahead,
right.
brother.
Go ahead. Hmm.
Just
Oh,
being able to reach the generational gap with the people,
hmm, yeah. I mean, it starts with being a father. You know what I'm saying? Knowing how to raise a young man. You know what I mean? And for me, my story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, I already went through it, so they don't have to. And it's just a matter of reaching the kids. It's hard for them to follow somebody that's trying to tell them to do good that never been in their shoes.
Mm,
So the relatability is a factor that I use to my advantage, but
right.
it's an important factor. You have to be relatable. You know what I
Okay.
mean? You trying to tell people how to kick a drug habit, but you never been in a drug life.
Okay.
It's hard for those people to adapt and listen and follow. So when
Right.
you got relatable people that could share a story and something that might sound similar, you take more notice. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
when you take notice is when you take the opportunity to drop the gym. You know what I mean? Your
Mhm.
jail is whack. Don't listen to these guys glorifying this shit is whack. You're lonely. Nobody cares, and nobody will be there for you. You know what I'm saying? I tell
Right.
them the truth, like, know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I've been through it though. Know what I mean? And that
Right.
shit, when I talk about it, it's not for me to brag. So I always put a disclaimer there. If I ever mention prison, always make sure this is in hindsight in my older age. I realized the shit that I did as a young kid, and shit was ignorant as hell. You know what I'm saying? And don't be just as ignorant because the example is right here in front of you. You know what I
Right.
mean? And look what I've able to do with my life. And that's the key too.
There you
Because they
go.
want to see the success. You can
Right.
talk all of that shit to you blue in the face, but if you can't show them some type of results. The young generation, they not moved. You know what I mean? So when you can see the success and you can see the journey, they can appreciate it more and adapt to it more. You know what I mean? And you can't save everybody, man. But the ones that you can, that's what you focus on. You focus on the love. We never mind the hate, and together we just try to be great. You know what I mean? It's the type of shit I'll be
Right.
talking. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. Let me remove him from the cancel. Hold on 1 second. We're gonna work on it though. So once again, interview with Snipe Life. D Block artist Snipe Life. Lost him on the stream. I don't know what's going on, but man, once again, we're talking about the conversation with an artist signed to D Block, but he has his own business. He has his own movement that he is pushing behind that, which is autism awareness. When we get him back, we're going to talk about uh, just his Oh, what's it? Let me try to kick him out real quick. I'm gonna try to get Snyp back. I'm gonna go ahead and go to a commercial break. Once again, man, this is the Indie Circuit Yale Radio Cast. We ain't letting no. Hey, shout out to the upper room. I see you out there, boys. I'm gonna holler at y'all in a minute, though, man.
What's up, y'all? This your homeboy Slim Calhoun. Y'all already know. You can find me on all social media at Slim Calhoun. That's Slim with 2 M's Calhoun on all social media. It's going down. Yeah, it is.
All right, this meeting is very important. All right, man, I got you, man. I got you. My partner Nomadic put me on this. You know what I'm saying? This Delta wine, you know, it's legal pretty much in all 50 states. Okay. We're going to go in here and close this deal today. Okay. I think it's distribution. I'm with you. Distribution, you know what I'm saying? Everywhere, baby. Yeah, let's get it. Hey, what's up? Hey, how y'all doing today, man? How you doing? My name is Harold James. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you gentlemen taking this meeting today. Oh, yeah. I'm going to get straight to it because I know y'all busy gentlemen, you know. I got the brand new Delta 8 wine by Nomadic. Who's Nomadic? Nomadic is a black chemist, brother. Tell him. Who's this Nomadic? Is Nas. No, not Nas. No, Nomadic. He's a black chemist out of Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. He came up with his own Delta 8 wine, first of its kind. Yep. On the market. You know what I'm saying? So look, it's 0.02% alcohol. You know what I mean? Straight Delta 8. Now this bottle right here is not 900, 800 milligrams. Yeah. So this is the Moscato Rosé.
So what's the flavor?
The flavor is Moscato Rosé, and then that's the sangria you holding. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So look, what we wanting to do is we're wanting to push it pretty much through all 50 states because Delta 8 is legal in all 50 states. All 50. And everybody drink wine. Everybody. You drink. You don't say much.
That's the big boss. We don't talk to him.
Oh, all right. I won't talk to him no more. But just, I'm not trying to exclude you, but just know, Nomadic wine, man. So are y'all interested? We have a pitch deck and a business proposal, but we wanted to get in and get out. but this is Nomadic wine.
So which one of you is Nomadic?
Nomadic is in the lab. He's in the lab. He's making the drinks. He's in the lab.
I'm with it.
All right.
I'm definitely with it.
I mean, I know you don't talk much and they say don't talk to you, but you with it? He with it. Nomadic wine. Get with it.
Everybody jumping on my way. Now just let me introduce you to the way I do my thing. I feel like I'm a step away from hitting center stage. One step away. They doubted greatness when I told them I embodied it. Slick Rick the ruler, man, I'm on my lighting.
Yeah, Radio Cast, the gold standard of online radio. We already bring you all hits all day, but this one right here is for my hip hop heads. Tune in to Lyrical Exercise Radio. All bars, all day. You already know how we bringing it from the East Coast to the West Coast to down south and even international. Hip Hop Ain't Dead is right here on Yale Radio Cast.
Hey, it's your girl K Chantel, your favorite one from Women in the Mic. I have a question. Do you own your own business and need advertising? Do you provide a service and want to increase your clientele? Well, bring your advertising needs to YaleRadiocast.com. We are on Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and iHeartRadio. We offer graphic design, web design, and video services. So, not only can you grow your business with Yale Radiocast, you can also listen to the hottest independent artists. Go to YaleRadiocast.com and get the gold standard.
Yeah, Radio Cast. Now on Pandora Radio.
You know, I want to say this real quick though, right? See, everybody do book bag drives, right? But I have yet to see a book bag drive that's specifically catered to our special needs families, our special needs kids.
That is true.
We do a lot of book drives in the inner city, right? And it's great, and it's kudos to those brothers. But I want people to realize that in those inner cities that we're doing these book bag drives, there are families of special needs children, and they don't come out to those events because they overwhelmed with how their children gonna react, the stemming, things of that nature. So what we want to do is we want to cater specifically to our autistic young kings and queens and make sure we get the sensory. See, it's more than just the book bags. All our kids have sensory issues for one thing or another. So we made sure that we designed these bags with sensory toys and things that will keep them, you know, content throughout their day. So just happy to be a part of this, man. I'm happy you here. I'm happy Mama Love is here. We doing great things. We changing the world one day at a time. My man. You know, I want to say this real quick though, right? See, everybody do book
Once
bag
again,
drives.
back from a break. Man, this is what happened when you got to interview one of the most busiest artists in the industry, man. Everybody calling this man phone. I can't get my time in.
Stop calling, right? Clear the line.
Hey, man, better to be wanted than not wanted, though.
That's a fact.
So let's jump right into it, man. I know we've been trying to have a smooth transition into your nonprofit organization and your business, man, but we just had to go right into it because I know you got some other things you got to do, man. The autism awareness. You spoke about your son being autistic. I understand that as well. So how did we get here with? Of course, we all deal with as parents with whatever we have to struggle with being a father, a mother, a parent. You know, how do we handle that right now?
Man, so what you saying? How do we handle that?
Yeah, because
I mean,
you could have just been a parent and not want to put it out there. That's what I'm dealing with.
Yeah, I mean that's how it starts, you know, and everybody's different. So, you know, I never knock a parent for not speaking up. I encourage parents to speak up, obviously, but I don't knock them because I understand coming from a dark place, coming from a defensive place, a place of of uncertainty. You're not sure of how people receive you, how people receive your situation, and you don't want to just put yourself through the mental anguish, the anxiety of it. So I understand that. So for me it was a calling. I mean, I've been an MC my whole life. I've been writing rhymes since I was 9 years old. So I've always had this gift, and coming from a place of not understanding what I was facing to learning and doing research and walking it and putting myself in my son's shoes, it just clicked one day, you know? Like, obviously it didn't start right away. My son got diagnosed about 2.5, 3 years old, and my son is nonverbal. So, and just so people understand quickly, nonverbal does not mean mute. I can't say this enough. I have to say it. I know I probably said this a million times for anybody that ever seen me in an interview talk about autism. I know I definitely probably mentioned this, but I have to forever mention it. Nonverbal does not mean that your child is mute. It just means that your child is not capable of holding a fluent conversation. So they talk, they respond, they follow directions, but to fluently, that's where the nonverbal part come in, and that's where the label is. So we don't want to confuse people with thinking that our kids are mute. But the fact that my son couldn't fluently communicate with me obviously was frustrating. I'm an MC. How can my son not talk? It's crazy, right? So wasn't given the right information. We young, we going through it, you know, and it was, you know, I credit his mom. I credit the mothers out there, the warrior moms, as I like to call them, and the warrior dads like yourself, myself. People that's not afraid to have the conversation, that's not afraid to stand in the box. But I really was inspired by my son's mom, her undying willingness to give up. And it just did something to me one day. And I wore my heart on my sleeve, you know. I know a lot of people, I knew rappers and things like that, and people weren't having the conversation. So one day I just was bold enough to say, you know what? In order to spread awareness, to garner acceptance, I have to show them how it is to live in my shoes. I have to show them. So what I used to hide from the world, I started showing, you know, and that's where it began. So that's where the seed planted. So before we got to the end, which I'm gonna pull us through real quick, there were many events, workshops and things that I was a part of, just as a guest, having a child with autism, being an MC, connected to some legends, and then from there, as my son, his name is Jaden, as Jaden started to get older, I needed to have something in place for him if I was no longer here. So that's what sparked me to create an album. So we created an album. My son is heavy into music, so I let him pick the production, and I added the lyrics. Literally had Jaden in the studio. This is not made up. Had my son in the studio, and I would play music for him. I know my child well. I know his stems. I know when he's rocking. I know when he likes some music, when he likes the beat. I know when he doesn't really care for it because he already on to the next one. His attention span for something that he don't like is minimum. What he does like, he'll zone on it all day. So long story short, we went from 1 to 2 to 4 to 7 to 8. We had a whole album worth of music. I created the lyrics. I added them. He sat in there. He is literally the executive producer. That's what an executive producer is. By title, by publication. He is the executive producer. I received zero money from my album Puzzles in the Sky. They all go to my son Jaden. And I'm very proud of that album to this date. It is the only hip hop album dedicated to autism. Sure, you may have heard artists make songs about autism. There's many around the world, but this is the first hip hop album, complete package. And from front to end is informational, is educational, and it's just super dope. And that Puzzles in the Sky, the album, that is what segued to my nonprofit. It's named after the album. So it's called Puzzles in the Sky Inc. That's my nonprofit. It is a 501c3, tax exempt. And my initial special, what we specialize with, like my grandest scheme of goals is to create the swimming initiative for children on the spectrum. So we want to get our kids that are autistic or that are on the spectrum to learn how to handle themselves in water. Google very fast works. You can see thousands and thousands of stories of children with autism, runners. They get away from their parents, their caretakers, and they find themselves by water. They drown tragically. I have someone that I knew personally that lost his life saving a young boy with autism, and he inspired me. Rest in peace, Big Scoop, from Yonkers, School Street, Yonkers, New York. He saved a young boy with autism that jumped in the pier and was drowning. And that inspired me to keep trying to push this swimming initiative. It's not an easy task because what we're trying to do is get this on the IEP. So anybody that's listening as a family member, you know your child has autism, you get an IEP with the school. We feel like you should not have to pay for a life skill. Swimming is a life skill. This can save so many lives, and that's what we're doing.
Details of my understanding of the fights with autism. I have a son. Hold on one second. Let me give a shout out to man. What's going on, K Locken, aka the Phoenix? That's my nephew, man. And I already know, man, you really tapped in. That's why I sent this stream to you, nephew. I already know. I want to see if I could get you working with my brother, man. You already know how we put it together with a family, man. But the goal is to actually highlight and talk about the battles with autism. I wish I could give more understanding, being that I do have a son that is has complications of autism. But there's a very strained relationship that I speak of all the time. I wish things could have been worked out differently with me and my son's mother. But I was just listening to the song that I played in the beginning of the show, man, and I promise you, I'm sitting there like, shit, how am I going to interview this dude when I'm choked up? You know what I'm saying? When I'm having a whole moment. I tell you what I'm gonna do though. I'm gonna call Locke. I'm gonna give you a call right now so we could talk about what you know about this until we get Snyp back on the stream, man. I know he's already getting a whole bunch of calls, but we gonna keep this moving, man. Shout out to everybody that's watching your radio cast, the Indie Circuit. Please, please, please share this stream. Comment on the stream if you know of somebody as well that is having a battle with autism. You know what I'm saying, or that this is just something that you feel about it. If you got questions, so when we get Snyp back on, I want y'all to talk about it. So, Locke, I'm about to give you a call real fast, nephew. Man, we've already determined that he's giving some phone calls. He's a busy man these days, so let's talk about it.
Yo.
Okay, Locke, what's going on, nephew?
I'm good. Just checking out the interview.
Okay.
Yeah,
we lost Snyp.
I actually started checking it out when he started talking about the autism and everything. I started checking him out, and then when I think you went into a break.
Yes.
And then when you came back, you played I think you was playing a clip with him at
a park. He did he did a backpack drive.
Yeah, at the backpack drive, and I thought it was interesting just because he kind of cued in on the sensory aspect of kids and children and stuff on the spectrum. As far as with the drive, it wasn't just like, okay, we got school supplies and book bags or whatever for special needs or autistic kids or whatever. He kind of like went a little deeper with the meticulous parts of it, like you say, like I say, the sensory and stuff like that, texture, all of those things definitely play a part in their everyday life.
Right. As a father of an autistic son, what's been your toughest battle, man? Cause I see, bruh, cause I'll be around.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, in the beginning when we got him tested and everything, even before that, my wife, she had already, as a mother and everything, she had already, felt signs and saw signs or whatever that maybe wasn't conducive to, the timeline of kids and their learning and things like that. So just a long story short, when we got them tested, it was kind of like one of those things I was ready to take on. But as far as like the challenges, they're there. You have, it's more of the moments versus like a whole stint or something for me, because of course when you once you find this out and then you start to raise differently, think differently, you know what I'm saying, with your child, they have moments, and in those moments, just like anything else, you can be frustrated, you can get angry, you know what I'm saying, all those emotions and stuff are still there during those challenges. So for me though, it was just certain moments in trying to get to certain milestones, because when you detect it early on, when you're on it early on, you don't necessarily know, how it's going to go. You just know that you know what you know, and then, you just keep working with it, you know what I'm saying, until you get a routine down, until you get like a regiment down, until you learn what that routine or that regimen is, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's where for me, that was where most of the difficulties was coming from. It's just like maybe just learning what the routine should be. Learning, what does trigger, what doesn't. new things you find out that trigger that you didn't know because it's all a learning process.
Right. Okay, so we got Snyp back on the stream. Snyp Live. This is my nephew K Lockin, aka the Phoenix. He was just discussing the fact of what he is challenged with as well. Did we just lose Snyp again, man? We're gonna have to get this is why I love these in studio interviews. He came back and we just lost him.
But I think the coolest part of it, you know what I'm saying, listening to him is, like he just said, like when he said that, you know, the puzzles in the sky, like when he said it, I'm like, wow, I gotta check out the album, you know what I'm saying? Because, like you said, it's never been anything dedicated or a whole album or something like that dedicated to that. And I think within the last X amount of years and stuff, autism has become more of a forefront in our kids, and people are getting more, you know, enlightened on what it is, what it could be, and getting your kids out of this being labeled as, you know, some kind of behavior problem or that they're bad or, you know, because people may not understand what's going on or may not have took that extra step to find out what's going on. Right. And then these kids get labeled as delinquent and all these different things before, you know, they really find out what's going on. Like in a lot of the news, you see a lot of these kids autistic kids being killed, have been killed by police officers because, you know, they were resisting or their sensory kicked in or whatever the situation was with that child on the spectrum. The police didn't understand, even though they should be trained to understand certain behavior symptoms and things of that nature. You know
crazy thing is, I think since I wouldn't say it's nothing new. You know, autism been around. I think since the numbers are growing, and they're out the house more. And just as you said, that a police officer who hasn't been trained to how to deal with this, you know, it's like that we already have our own conversation that we can have with the police, right? You know, but
I mean, I'm not necessarily knowing if like someone has,
but knowing how, when they do know, well, how do you handle that?
Just behavior, you know, just like you can see when someone is being aggressive. You can see when someone's body language is showing, you know, some type of resistance. You can tell when, you know, you look at body language to tell if somebody's trying to hide something, somebody's trying to pass something off, or somebody has a look of, you know, confusion. It's just things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily saying, you know, they should be able to pinpoint what's going on with a particular child, but just in mannerism, like, hey, you know, there's some kind of discernment to say, you know, oh, something's not right here. Let's just take a step back and try to figure something else out before we go straight to put your hands down and, you know, stop walking and, you know, because they're going to do them. That's one thing about kids with autism on the spectrum. They're going to do them regardless of what environment they're in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And as people, you know, once we learn what's going on, then we have to learn how to maneuver with that instead of against that. You know what I'm saying? But that's one thing about kids on the spectrum. They're going to do them. You know what I'm saying? If they want to, you know, hit the floor at the mall, screaming, come in here because of a sensory issue or something like that, that's what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? But it's up to us, like he said, it's just nice to hear, you know what I'm saying, somebody that can bring a bigger awareness to that, you know what I'm saying, that subject in his lane. And, you know what I'm saying, with the connections and things that he has to kind of help make it stick and resonate a little bit more in the minds of young people.
Right. Appreciate that a lot, man. Well, we're trying to see what's going on with his. It's a connection thing. It appears to be, you know. But I appreciate that word, man. We're gonna go ahead and continue, man.
Send a link or give me some information on where I can check the puzzles.
Oh yeah. I'm about to send you all that stuff, nephew. I'm about to send all that to you, man.
Okay, thanks.
All right, man. Once again, man, Yell Radio Cast, Yell Entertainment, man, K Lockin, We the Truth, autistic son as well. So that moment really resonates with him. Just to hear, and maybe I could try to get a collab with Snyp and Lock, man, to push forth the narrative of being a parent, you know, dealing with these situations. I know these are artists, but They have goals and they have things past music, because past being an artist, bigger than being an artist, you're a human being, you're a parent, you're a father. And I think that's important that we discuss what can we do as people, not necessarily entertainers, as people to handle these things that's going on in our community while we're waiting on some kind of social construct of a government system to find out solution to these problems. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. The answer to these problems are within ourselves. The answer to these problems are actually within our own knowledge and education of these things. So I don't know if we're going to be able to get Snyp back on. I know he got a lot to handle. I'm going to pull away with another break, and I'm going to see if we could get him in before he chimes off, man. Once again, I need to follow up with this interview. I thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Yale Radiocast, the Indie Circuit. This is your boy, Dylan Yale. I want to give a shout out to Ja Queen on the back end, trying to make sure everything going good. I see you, mama. But yeah, so we're going to continue, man. If we got to log off, I'll let you know. But in the meantime, man, we're going to enjoy some of this music from Snyp like D-Block in the building, man. Hold on. Whoa. D-Block, what up?
Yeah, I'm trying, man. I don't know. It might be the reception, man. You know,
we can't
the devil.
Get your audio, man. I don't know what's going on, D.
No audio? Is that what it is? There's no audio?
Let's work with it.
Yeah, it's no audio,
Nothing
though?
Yet.
Oh, man.
Nothing yet.
That's crazy.
We see you, though. Just no
audio. No audio.
You keep on working with it, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tag you on the back end. Hold up 1 second, bro.
My name is Snyp Life. I got a 7-year-old, he's autistic. I love every kid. I don't care what you have, if you a regular kid or if you a special needs kid. This is what we need to do to change the ways of this world. We need people like this, the government, that change things, that put flaws in front of us. When we got stuff like this, they can't stop power. Power is in numbers. Hey, thank you personally to Adidas. I got a 7-year-old son, he's autistic, he's nonverbal. Everything here is touching. I appreciate everybody that came out, all the parents. I've been there too. I'm able to touch the youth. I go out and I do fundraisers and I do things for no money because it's about what you do for our kids. Real talk. Check out me and my 7-year-old in his first video, and I actually got him to say a few words, so I'm blessed.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
My man. Yeah, say Poobs, what up?
Poobs, what up?
And this is for my son that's autistic. I spit this, yeah. If your kid is autistic, they gifted. We not overlooking other disorders, but learning about autism is important. For my son that's autistic, I spit this, yeah. If your kid is autistic, they gifted. We not overlooking other disorders, but learning about autism is important. As I open my eyes and visualize to this Nas beat, spread my wings, doing my thing from the concrete. And every heartbeat is for the breath of my sons. I love them both, trade my life for theirs. Yeah, I be ghosts, I do a bid, lose a rib just for both of them to live. I'm an advocate, awareness is what I'm trying to give. I speak for the families of those that affect them. My youngest nonverbal, he's severe on the spectrum. He was healthy 18 months, then got a shot. And then mentally, it's like all the growing stop. Now what could it be? Something to do with the mercury. The government don't want to admit it. They feel the urgency. They making laws just to cover up flaws. But that's another record, like how I was moving the raw. They say the rap game is just like the trap game. But what about the parents with their kids still stuck in this fast lane? For my son is autistic, I spit this. Yeah, if your kid is autistic, they gifted. We not overlooking mental disorders, but learning about autism is important. For my son is autistic, I spit this. Yeah, if your kid is autistic, they gifted. We not overlooking other disorders, but learning about autism is important. Is important.
And y'all know?
Say D-Block. Say year.
Yo.
It's good? You had enough? You finished? You want some, you want some more? You finished? Okay, you finished. Say peace.
Peace.
Say peace.
Peace.
Say bye.
Bye.
My man. My man.
Hey, man. You ain't gonna have me crying on this goddamn show, man. I love that song,
back.
brother. I love that song, brother.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. It's a fact.
So let's just go into it. I know we all over the place, and
let's get it right though. Let's make it
man-made technology. Shout out to the upper room. That's why I call the government the upper room. Shout out to the upper room, man. Making things very difficult, but that's all right though. So outstanding movement. I know you was trying to get back in while my nephew K Lock in the Phoenix called in, and he was just telling about the struggles of just being there, being active and understanding, because you're dealing with people outside of your household that don't understand. So it's getting so severe that people are getting killed now because police are interacting with our youth and they haven't had any training, man. So I'll let you take it from there, bro, because it is happening.
Yeah, shout out to Neff, man. Made a great point. I did catch a little piece of what he was saying, and yeah, man, that's just why we do it, because in the nutshell, the more awareness that we could bring, you know what I mean, the more compassion and understanding people can have, and the more acceptance that we can gain. You know what I mean? But it start with us, because at the end of the day, you want to know something? No, the numbers don't lie. So I don't care what background you have, what culture you are, what skin color you are, where you live. The numbers do not lie. The numbers have been, for a past number of years, 1 in every 44 boys is diagnosed with autism. That number is actually down to, I believe, 1 in 39.
I thought it was
which
lower than
which
that.
means it's becoming more and more common. That's the point. So whether people want to talk about it or not, there are a lot more people affected than we can see. So sometimes it takes the courage of people stepping out there and showing, what it's about, and the roles that they play to get the understanding. You know what I mean? Like you said, you see somebody in public and you think he's doing all kind of negative stuff that you can think of. But when you come to find out the reality, the young man is probably just stemming, simply. He's doing something simple that people on the outside, they get outraged. And that's why the parents are so closed in and defensive. And I get it. But we got to figure out how we going to break the cycle. Everybody can't just keep living for the next 10, 20 years saying the same thing. We've been saying that. You know what I'm saying? So I try to make a difference one step at a time, one appearance at a time. Even as far, I don't separate like the autism from hip hop, meaning I am who I am. Yes, I rap. I come from a certain background of struggle. I've been through certain things that I talk about in my music. I'm a human being. These are the things that made up my character. This is my story. But I also wear this hat very well. And I'm very much proud of this hat, just as I am as the other hats. I literally stand on a sold out hip hop concert that has nothing to do with autism awareness, and I give speeches to the crowd about autism. You know what I mean? And that's me letting them know the numbers don't lie. I know y'all out there. And while we having fun and we enjoying this moment of hip hop, I want y'all to know, as parents, as siblings, nephews, aunts, brothers, sisters, y'all are not alone. We all are in this thing together, because we have to push it forward. Just like we pushing the culture forward, we got to push the special needs culture forward. It's so many talented individuals. It's so many creative parents out there. It's so many people with different levels of influence. If we combine the gumbo of all of these great things, we would be at the forefront. We would be able to go to the central government. We would be able to change some of the fucking statutes that are in these law books concerning our kids. And like you said, I just want to end it with this part. The police. I'm also working with the police in my community. We need to come up with new strategies for these officers. Something needs to be put in these rule books, these workbooks, whenever they come out the academy.
Yeah.
They need to learn how to approach our special needs kids.
Yeah.
Because it's just one thing, the violence that we get of just our young black and brown and Latino brothers and sisters. That's one thing. But then when you throw in the special needs mix, it's a whole different animal. It's a whole different level, whole different conversation. And like you said, a lot of them are ending in violence. I've seen something in Florida. The guy that shot the kid, he was autistic. All he's trying to do is get away.
Yes.
And they thinking that he's like just trying to attack them, but he's trying to get away from y'all. So we need better approach. We need better communications. But I feel like as individuals like myself, stand-up fathers, stand-up uncles, family members that stand behind their family, support them and love them unconditionally in the light and in the dark. We need them to stand up. We need to come together, and we need to make this for a greater cause. And that's what Puzzles in the Sky is about. We just connecting the puzzles. We connecting the dots. You know what I mean? So I'm not just a one-way nonprofit that's just trying to collect money to just keep doing regular events in my neighborhood. That shit is not, you could come out and get your face painted and get a book bag, but what are you learning? Like, what is our message? What are we trying to do here? So that's really what my aim is. My aim is more of the communicating side. And I would love to link with you, with your nephew. My boy Copyright has told me a lot about things that we could possibly be doing down there that is not enough of. I have a family member, my sister. She lives in another part of Atlanta. She also works with special needs individuals.
Yeah.
So you see, my whole family is a mirror reflection of our journey.
There you
like
go.
we really lived this. You know what I mean? And I love to come down there and let's start the conversation. Because that's where it starts with. Let's
that's
start
what
the
we're
conversation.
gonna do, man. That's what we're gonna do, man. And look here, man. I appreciate everything you're doing past the music, man. I appreciate everything you're doing within the music. We're dealing with an image of an artist that has been an entertainer. And I was saying during while you was trying to get back on the stream, past being an entertainer, we're people. We got to show people our people's side. That's what I heard in an interview. I think it was somebody was talking to Bun B, and they were saying people gonna take the music for what it is, but what makes you gain a true fan, a true supporter is when they can relate to who you are. And I fucks with that. So I fucks with you, man. Shout
But
out
that's
to
like
everything
we
you're
said,
doing, brother.
relatability that
Yes.
comes with just meeting the young kings that hang on these corners that we once did out here. That it's the relatability. Once someone can relate to you, they can really truly receive your message. You see what I'm saying? And that's, I think the disconnect is that right there. The messages is not being received on the right type of energy, from the right type of energy. So, we just got to do our part, and we can't save the whole world. I realize I can't save every child with autism in the world, but I can let those parents know that there are people like me that's going to stand with you. I don't care what your color, race, creed, color, background, none of that is. It's about our babies. We raising these young kings, we raising these young queens, and it's a cold world out here.
Right.
And we are dealing with some of the most genuinest people in the world. A child with autism is one of the most natural. They don't wake up to think about plotting and deceiving. They don't wake up thinking about doing crime. They just want to stick to their script. They want to enjoy their moment. They want to stay in their world and be comfortable in their skin and stem when they need to. And that's all they ask.
Ooh. Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Man.
all they ask.
Man, you dropping some bars and we ain't even got a beat yet. What the hell?
Yeah, nah, bro. Bro, this is like, like I said, man, and I know I'm over the time, but I don't even care when it comes to something that's passionate about this shit to me. And like I said, I come from a certain background. People see me in a certain image, and everybody that knows me, if you ever met me, if you ever seen me, this is how I really am. I don't play when it comes to that. I don't play with our kids. I don't brag about all the countless families that I've impacted. I just know that with this thing that was handed to me, and this journey with my son, this blessing that was handed to me, I know I had to do right not only by him for my legacy, but for the rest of the people that come behind me that didn't have the guidance, that didn't have the big bro to come to ask, to vent, to get information from. I didn't have that. Know what I mean? And where do we break the cycle? We just because it's like saying because my father didn't raise me, I'm not being a father. When you gonna break the cycle? When are we gonna break the so when we talking about autism, we talking about I don't want people to face the cringe because they just don't know any better. They looking at we're not looking for handouts. These babies are so intelligent if you just give them a chance to show their skill. To every child on the spectrum has a niche. Every one of them, and every one of them is uniquely different. So when you meet one child with autism, you've only met one child with autism. You can't just assume. We share common traits. Yes, common traits we share. But that's what makes them all uniquely gifted. And I've seen so many different stages and levels. There's levels to this thing, man. So I want to just say, God bless those parents. Give them strength and wisdom to get through their days. Because people just don't understand as a parent with special needs, just to get outside. It's a mission to get outside. We didn't even get just to get the day started. Routine, practice. We have to redirect our babies. We have to, if they miss one little piece of their routine, their whole day is thrown off. We talking about 7, 8 hours at me like, yeah, nah, you fucked up at 7 in the morning. You fucked up. You didn't let me do my regular 1, 2.
Right.
Now it's 8 o'clock at night and he's still holding on to it.
To that,
You know what I'm
your
saying?
boy. Hey.
So, yo, shout out those parents. We here. It's a never ending story. It don't stop in April. I just want to leave y'all with that. Let's not play the political game because everybody comes out and be the best they could be in the month of April. What they've designated us special needs family with acknowledgement for. They gave us 30 days to acknowledge us and then they move on. We still got fucking another 11 months, 350 something more days that we have to go through this. So I want those families to know we here. This is puzzles in the sky. Don't just pop up in April. I live this life every day for a reason. So our doors are always open. Our lines are always open. I want to shout out. A up and coming company organization that I'm gonna be doing a lot of work with. They call Superstars on the Spectrum. Shout out my nephew Mace, another young king, nonverbal autistic genius, and I'm gonna be doing a lot of work with them. And we're gonna start really advocating not just for where we live, but for everywhere. Just like where you at, everywhere we need to come. I want to see the families. Let's speak. Let's get together. Let's really make this thing happen, bro. And this shit ain't just for the interview. Like I said, I don't care about rap. I don't care about an image. When we talking about this, I'm a father. I'm a warrior dad. I'm so proud. I'm just as proud as being a warrior dad as I am as being an LMC. One and one, it can't go without the other. I'm nothing without the other. You know what I mean? So I just want to leave y'all with that, man. Real shit.
Oh man. I don't even know where to follow up, bro. You know, when
love, bro.
When we speaking real talk, that's what it's really about. I just want to say this, man. I appreciate once again. You already said it as a MC, the passion as an MC, just the passion as a father and a person of the community as well. As I said, being the OG, it's up to us now. I don't like when we're as a people are waiting on somebody else to do something for us when it's in our hands. It's in our hands.
It's in our hands. I agree, brother.
So
I
we,
agree
we
with you.
have an opportunity before us to address these things. I've been to the back of this issue just because of the strained relationship with being baby moms. But shout out to baby moms nonetheless. Shout out to son. And I just recall these.
Still on stage?
How he deals with things. Yeah, we still here, man.
All
Just
right. Yeah. No, definitely, bro. And you know what though? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you some real shit. It takes our family first. It takes faith, and it takes a village. So I'm just saying to you as a brother, for all of the families and for all of the, it doesn't matter if you are with your significant other or not. Do not let that get in the way of what our goal is. Our goal is to create a beautiful life for our babies. Nothing should come in front of that. And I understand, I've met and talked with so many broken homes that it stagnates us as people, because these babies need to see these examples. They need to see family. They need to see love. Like my son, for me as a dad, my son, he could see the love more than he could feel the love, if that makes any sense to you.
No, I
Know
can
what I'm
understand.
saying?
Yes,
And
yes.
it's just the way his brain works. So he doesn't get emotional. He don't cry. He uses a certain part of his brain. You know what I mean? But it's important for these babies to see the love, to see the unity, to see people together. And for the families, the mothers and the fathers, this is not a short race. This is not a relay. This is a marathon, like Nip would say. The marathon continues, it continues, it continues. When the babies are small, they 3 years old, they 5 years old, 6. Oh, they're adorable, sweet babies. What about when our babies get 17, 18, 20, 21? We're not thinking that far. And our babies are going to grow. So we have to create an atmosphere that's going to accommodate them as they transition through life. They're not going to always be the small little babies that we adore. They're going to be grown men and grown women. And they're still going to be on the spectrum. They're not going to outgrow autism. So as parents, as parents, we got to stay healthy. We got to stay alive. We got to be here for these babies. And we have to keep practicing this right here, having the conversation. And that's what beginning of making you, when people ask me all the time, how do I become an advocate? How can I advocate? That's where you start. Being an advocate starts with having the conversation that people don't want to have. We got to have these conversations.
Man.
Real shit, brother.
I just want to say, man, once again, thank you, Snyp Life. Give it, hey, everybody that's on the stream, I want a round of applause. I want to put the applause up, put the ones up for my guy, Snyp Life. D Block, what up?
Yes, sir.
Man,
yes, sir.
Ingenuity 2, drop, right? Drop it or drop, man.
We dropped a single from Ingenuity 2. I will be releasing the full project in the fall. So the follow-up will be dropping.
Okay, so, but we do got the Boss Hog 2 running,
yes,
though,
sir.
right?
You got the exclusive.
Yes.
You got the exclusive, brother.
Hey, man, take the title, Mr. Exclusive. Shout out to my boy, Nuno. You know what I'm saying? That Mr. Exclusive, man. No, but just once again, man, thank you for the music. But what's next since we dropping this project? What we got coming up?
Yeah, man, just a lot of music, man. I'm just, I'm giving the fans what they asking me for. They want to see me more. They want to hear me more. So we following up Ingenuity Part 2. We're going to drop a 3-part series. So Ingenuity 1, as we know, is out. Part 2 is about to drop. Part 3 will follow. And then I'm going to probably get off to do something else, get off of that wave. I have another project that is actually waiting for Ingenuity 2 to drop. Another project that I have with my brother Infamous Amadeus. He is a producer, DJ,
Shout out
MC,
to Infamous Amadeus,
Shade 45 Zone. We have a
Yes.
project called Infamous Life. It's out right now. We're
Nice
about to drop part 2 to that.
Yes.
So I just got a lot of music. Got a lot of music coming, man. A lot of shit. We working.
Well, thank you,
Working,
man.
brother.
Thank you for once again.
And
Thank
the
you for the
new
opportunity.
D Block album is coming too. Just stirring the cock. The new, they've been asking. They've been asking. So I promise you that. It's in the cook. We cooking. It's in the oven.
Bring them boys too. When you come and bring them boys too. They can hang out down here in Atlanta, goddammit.
That's a fact. Nah, we love the A. We love the A.
Hey, man, I ain't gonna. Hey, I know I saw that boy Jada in the All-Star weekend when they had the All-Star game down here. I saw him at Lennox Mall, man. You know what?
Yeah, right.
He gave the laugh and kept walking. And kept walking out like, yeah.
You already know. Yeah, you know how the guys do.
Man, but once again, brother, a veteran in this music game. A grown man, a OG, not just as an artist, an OG as a parent, as a father, as a person of the community. I'm watching everything you're doing, man. And I watch you from a distance, but I'm in Atlanta. I gotta be honest.
Right.
I don't get everything like that. So that's why I said earlier, like, you gotta search for people. You gotta search the music, man. So I'm gonna let you know right now here at Your Radio Cast. everybody can find you right here, man. So whatever you want to bless me with, all the music is going up on our station. All you got to do is say the word, hit me up, man. Shout out to Ja Queen for helping this,
That's
pushing
right,
this from
Jack
the
Queen.
background, man. I
City Troop.
appreciate y'all,
What up?
boys. Keep
Yep.
up the good work, man. And then tell everybody where to reach you at. Tell everybody anything else you got coming up, man.
Yeah, man. Catch me on Instagram, Snyp Life D Block. All my handles are pretty much Snyp Life D Block, Facebook, Snyp Life D Block page. Even on Twitter, the Twitter's I think it's at the real Snyp Life. Shout out City Bookings, City Troop Bookings, Jock Queen. They kind of handle a lot of that stuff for me. But if you do want to reach out to me, feel free to shoot me an inbox. I'm on Instagram probably a lot more than my other social media platforms. Ingenuity 2, you'll hear from that by the
Yeah,
fall,
I'm
like
ready
I
for it.
said. And so from there, Puzzles in the Sky, we will be doing a follow-up album to Puzzles in the Sky Part 2. In the midst of these events that I'm coordinating and putting together, we have a back to school book bag drive and stuff that we do is going to be going on. And we just keep plugging the community, about what Puzzles in the Sky is doing in our swimming initiative. And we want to get our babies to learn how to swim and know how to handle themselves just in case they do find themselves in water. And it's very important because I feel like it's a life skill, it's something that we shouldn't have to pay for. But this is what our fight is, with our local politicians and things of that nature. So that's the political side. And just join the movement, man, just to get the good word. Reach out to me anytime. And that's pretty much it, man.
Okay.
Just do this for the people and the people from a distance. I'm very approachable. I'm down to earth. Know what I'm saying? So if you have any questions, any advice, feel free. Reach out. Know what I'm saying?
I got a little question real fast,
Yeah,
right
yeah.
before you get out of here. I want to see what we can, I test people. I want to see what you can do to this. Oh, you remember that beat?
I don't hear nothing yet.
I was about to get them bars from Snyp. It did not drop like I needed it to.
That's why I'm gonna pull up on you. Don't even worry about it. I'm gonna definitely pull up on you. You know when I pull up on you, you know what time it is.
Hey man, once again, this was a heavy interview. I told y'all in 2003 I was bringing the indie circuit back with the heavy hitters. Shout out to my boy Copyright, who was supposed to have been the first interview, but you just never mind. I ain't gonna talk about his personal.
No doubt, my boy.
Hey, I was say, hey, where you at? He didn't answer the phone. He had some things going on.
It's all good though.
Yeah, shout out
Keep
to
doing your
everybody
part.
once again, man. Once again, just thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting your radio cast, the indie circuit. Share this stream with everybody. Get tapped in with my boy Snyp Life.
Yeah.
Get tapped in with D Block. Get in tapped
We
in with
outside,
Ingenuity.
man.
We are outside. Hey, and if you outside, get some water because it's hot as hell. So you just can't be. Hey, you can't be outside and not look liquefied. God damn it.
That's a fact, brother. That's a fact.
So once
Love
again,
is
man.
love.
Once again, tune in. You already know what the motto is. Let's get the business. Holla at y'all.
Yeah. Love is love, man. Y'all be easy, brother.